for the cancer patients hoping for a better tomorrow. Folks, another group that also hopes for a better tomorrow are content creators. You're probably out there and you're a content creator. You probably just started today. You have 5 followers, 50 followers, 1 million followers. You are in this bracket. Well, even if you also share memes, however that helps you, we are definitely talking about that for you. The art of making money in content creation. And this evening, we're joined by 2 esteemed gentlemen who will be helping us understand this. From the Kenya Film Commission, he is the Chief Executive Officer, Timothy Owase. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, looking sharp, sir.
Asante.
And I am Kabugi is his name, not the real ID name as well. Kennedy Kabugi it is.
Yay.
Karibu sana.
Nashukuru.
And also, even for sticking around from Ufeneke up to here.
Yeah.
I'll start with you on this conversation because you are the content creator here. You definitely have your following over the years. Walk us through how much the costs that you incur when you are making your content, just for a day.
I'll average that to around 10K.
Okay, can you break it down?
Let me try break it down as basic as I can. Assuming I'm having a shoot off my place and I'll use probably petrol around 1,500 to 2,000.
Okay.
I have the ladies or probably guys that I'm using on set.
Right.
If at all it's a reel I'm doing, I'll have to pay them. I'll average that to around 2K, 3K at the same time.
Individually for the...
Yeah, because you know there are guys who are traveling as well. They're using Uber. You'll have to cater for that as well. And an addition of eating the lunch those guys will take. So
Right.
I'll average that to around 10K when I'm having a shoot day, that is.
For one day?
Yeah.
Is that easy for you over the years? Is it... how do you plan for that?
It's not easy. Actually, not having mentioned, I'll have to pay, the videographer if at all I'm working on a long term.
Right.
I'll have to pay them at the end of the month.
Right.
So after dividing, I think I'll end up averaging to around 15K.
Right.
It's not that easy, but unless you're working with a brand, because we've not monetized our platforms enough to get that directly from what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. And Kabugi, you definitely has privilege to be sitting next to the CEO of Kenya Film Commission.
Very.
Because one of the roles of KFC is promotion of local film industry. And Mr. Owase, one of the local film content is for Kabugi, among others. There's so many in Kenya, they're so wonderful. Kindly tell us, because I've just read one role, but then people seem not to really understand what Kenya Film Commission does, just to also separate, and even coming from the government, elaborate that for us.
Thank you very much. Kenya Film Commission is a state corporation whose responsibility is to basically promote the local film industry with an overriding mandate of attracting foreign productions into our country, given the kind of sceneries, landscapes, the young talent that we have in the country that can be able to promote and enable production in our country. Kenya Film Commission undertakes promotion of film industry through building capacity for young people like Kabugi. It also provides a platform for content creators to really market their products to the international world and build capacity as far as entrepreneurship for them to be able to actually achieve their intended target as far as production or storytelling is concerned. So in overall, we are an institution that is industry facing, based on the fact that we would like to see storytelling turning out as one of the key elements of job creation, wealth creation in our country. When you look at the bottom-up economic transformational agenda, you find that job creation is very key to the Kenya Kwanza government. And we as Kenya Film Commission, we hold that spot where we can be able to employ so many people in this particular industry. And we believe that most young people like him, as you can see already on this set, the two of us are wearing a tie, but him is not. It's not by design, but that's how it is. Young people want to be like him, and they would like to be able to tell their stories their own way. So we must be able to promote them, give them an enabling environment, an environment that will enable this young person to be able to tell his story as he creates wealth and at the same time, as he's able to create more employment to more other young people.
Right.
And based on what he presented, I must also say that content creation, just like any other job in a manufacturing organization, he has to plan for production. Mm-hmm. He has to be able to get to know how much he will spend to be able to do the production, how much he will be able to spend as far as the internet, the equipment, the human resource, the space that he occupies as a space where he is able to actually undertake his activities, mm-hmm. to be able to come up with a product that is acceptable by his targeted audiences.
Right.
Yes.
And I think, Kabugi, follow up on what I had asked you. So a breakdown, one day, 10,000, monthly, for example, how much does it return so that we can also get from the government? They have talks with Meta, TikTok, Google. Where is that coming from? So before Mr. Owase gives us that answer, for you, how does that breakdown look like? Inarudisha pesa kweli?
I wouldn't say yes, mm-hmm. unless you're really working with a good number of brands. And the more you work with brands, the more the production. So apparently, the more the amount you lose. But apart from having brands, because there are creators there out there who are doing things, there are quotas, like the quota that we had there, the Mandamano and such. Mm-hmm. There were no brands that were working with creators. So you have to do a zero return budget. Yeah, so at a good rate, no. With the fact that I mentioned, we are not getting monetized. Mm-hmm. I'll really mention that a lot because we are not getting monetized. Our platforms have not been monetized. Right. So you're not able to gain directly from what you're creating. Right. Whatever I create on a daily, whatever you find on the internet that is funny that I do on a daily is just for entertainment. Mm-hmm. A good part of it is just for entertainment, doesn't have a return.
All right. So because now, even as you come in on that, he talks about really monetization. Kindly tell us the progress of this particular...
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, the president says that we're working with Meta, also Google, TikTok. What is the progress on this?
I believe that is work in progress. But again, I would like to respond to any creative content creator out there who is watching us, that when it comes to content monetization, it has to be your personal strategy. There are various modes on how you can be able to monetize your content. There are elements to do with the subscriptions. You can be able to have sponsored blog posts. There are various other modes of monetization that you can be able to apply. So my key critical appeal to content creators is that you must have a strategy as to how, before you even monetize through Meta, you need to know exactly, as I'm doing this, how am I going to monetize my content? What is it that my target audiences are looking for? And are they able to sustain what I'm actually putting out there? The other critical components, like if you are monetizing on YouTube, you need to be very deliberate on everything that you are doing. Right. Do proper research. Look at all elements as far as monetization is concerned, and be deliberate in terms of what is it that will be able to bring me money. Right. You can be able to use your channel either to promote brands and also position your own brand, because your brand is your promise. And as your brand is your promise, what you are saying is that you would like to see this brand being able to drive income towards your organization. Right. So you can be able to do this on various platforms, be it on X, LinkedIn, Instagram, on Meta platforms and others. So for me, I just want to encourage content creators that as you come out to tell your story, you are telling your story with an objective, and that objective is purely to be able to monetize your content. Right. What you are churning out is purely business, and any business must have a critical strategy, a strategy that will be able to give you a return on your investment. You are investing, what is it that you want to get in return? Okay. If you do not know exactly where you're heading, it will be very difficult for you to be able to do what? To get any value on your content. Right. And that's why, if you don't do that, if you are not clear on what you are doing, you will complain and blame maybe government, because government is not the one that is actually implementing your business. You are the one that is implementing the business. The only thing that government does is to create an enabling environment, an environment that will be able to boost your business in a way that you are able to actually traverse and do everything that you require within the law and within the confines of your business strategy.
Right. Kabugi, I'll give you the final thoughts on this so that we wrap this conversation, your last thoughts, your advice to other young upcoming on matters, how they can actually make money on these platforms?
I'll start by saying, he mentioned something about, doing the research on what you're doing. And I'll be on the creator side on this. You'll do your research, you'll do everything that is supposed to be done, but with my generation and with the Gen Zs, we've gotten to a point where, content creation is fully based on, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. The only platform that pays directly is YouTube. So if at all, most of us are complaining about the economy, they had economic times at some point, same to the companies that we work with. So it gets to a point where you'll not get the brands that you're supposed to work with, right? So to some extent, we're not complaining, but I think, as you mentioned, the government, the Kenya Kwanza government as well, they promised us, and they've also come in during a time where TikTok, during a time where Instagram, during a time where Facebook is what we're fully depending on.
Right, and that bit of the promises by Kenya Kwanza government, we're not done with the interview. Yeah. We'll be back to review what the Kenya Kwanza government promised, and also just taking a look at even the callers from the content creators. Really, what are you saying back at home? Are you content with what the government has told us so far about you as a content creator making money? Talk to us on our social media platforms. That is 0793 267 279. Right now, though, let's get into something else. And the Office of the Auditor General has, the Office of the Controller Budget has highlighted that there is need to control public debt as the government has exited the borrowing ceiling at 1 trillion Kenyan shillings. Speaking in Mombasa County before the National Assembly's Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Deputy Controller of Budget, that is Stephen Marsha, stated that the Budget Controller will uphold the ruling of stopping the governors from distributing bursaries as it is the national government's function.
The public debt has exceeded the authorized limit. The public debt, as we speak now, stands at, as of end of this quarter, stood at 10.79 trillion shillings and was 67% of the country's GDP. This is in excess of, has exceeded the ceiling that has been laid out by Parliament, and Parliament laid a ceiling of 55%, of the GDP, which currently stands at 19.6 or thereabout trillion shillings. From the figures, we note that ceiling has been exceeded. Once you've asked a requisition to pay 5 vendors, that requisition at the point of approval, automatically the money goes to those vendors, the individuals you want to pay. So that's part of, I'm just alluding to your earlier comments on that diplomatic tip you referred to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 10 p.m. East African time. With me on set, the CEO of Kenya Film Commission, as well as I am Kabugi, Kennedy Kabugi. He is a content creator, and there's so many of you out there. Do you understand how the Kenya Film Commission works? As a content creator, are you happy with what the government is doing? Do you have burning questions that you want to ask? Throw them in. 22047 is our SMS number. Call in live as well, 0795 045 864. After this short break, we'll be back with more.